2021 marks the 43rd year of Take Back the Night marches in Canada. Take Back the Night is a global march and rally that happens each and every year. The aim is to stand up and speak out against sexual violence, especially violence against women. It is an opportunity to respond appropriately to each survivor's story, as so often survivors are faced with judgment and blame. In Canada, 1 in 3 women, 1 in 6 men, and 1 in 2 trans and non-binary folks will experience sexual violence at some point in their lifetime. The theme chosen for this year's Take Back the Night is Reclaiming Our Space. Reclaiming our space is meant to resonate differently for everyone. It might mean reclaiming our bodies, the physical space we're in, Indigenous land, and so much more. The Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre is a feminist, non-for-profit, charitable organization dedicated to supporting those affected by sexual and gender-based violence and harm. At our center in Peterborough, we have come together with community partners, community members, survivors, and advocates each year to take part and take back the night. Although we are unable to march in the streets, we are here. This community's showcase of resiliency and strength helps build our community and bring us together and provide space. Here is where we can unite, spread awareness, and continue to pave the way for better. No more, rise up, speak out, reclaiming our space. Throughout tonight's performance, there will be discussions of sexual violence. Please take care of yourself. The Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre has 3 lines of 24/7 crisis support. Our web chat is available online at kawarthasexualassaultcenter.com. Text us at 705-710-5234 or call us at 1-866-298-7778 to access our crisis supports.
Hey everyone, welcome to Take Back the Night 2021. I'm Brittany McMillan. I'm the Executive Director here at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre, and I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. To begin, we're going to do a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe, a territory covered by the Williams Treaties and Treaty 20. We offer our gratitude to the First Peoples for their care for and teaching about our earth and our relations. May we honor those teachings.
Ani Bojo, Kenawia, Kelly Dishnikaz, Hiawatha, Nagotwin, Donjaba, Gigandodem. Hi everybody, my name is Kelly and I am an Anishinaabe Ojibwe from the Mississauga territory of Hiawatha First Nation, and I represent the Pike clan. I want to say thank you to Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre for inviting me to speak and share my dance style with everybody tonight. Sorry, I'm very tired. I've been very busy lately, so you can clearly see it on my face. But I think the work that they do is so important. I've been joining Take Back the Night since I was 16 years old, so that's in the 90s. It was a very long time ago. As a teen, I was going through a lot of trauma. When I was young, an uncle of mine had sexually assaulted me. And so when I was a teenager, I had charged him. So I was going through the court case. And after I charged him, many of my relatives came out to share their stories. Because as you know, they say that when a pedophile or a predator harms one, there's always many more that they've done it to. It takes a lot to come out and share your story. And dealing with sexual assault is dilapidating, and it is triggering, and it makes every day hard when you're going through that, when you go through the stages of being a survivor of sexual assault. And to me, they're very similar to the stages of death. You know, you go through grief, you go through anger. I don't actually know what all the stages are right now, so I'm going to apologize. But it is, to me, it's the death of your innocence. It's the death of trust and how you view the world and how it pertains to you. And I was able to start my own healing journey through dancing, not just pow dancing, but once I started pow dancing, it brought culture and the thing that heals me the most kind of together, and it really it's really made my healing journey so much better. I've been dancing since I could walk, essentially, and I've always looked at dancing as a way of healing, even when I was a very, very young child. When I dance, it's when I'm dancing, I have complete power and control over my body. I don't dance with anybody. You know, my movements, everything that I do is my own, and nobody has power control over that. And that's how I took my power back, was through movement and through dance. So then when I started dancing Jingle is actually the Ojibwe Anishinabe's healing dance. It's their contribution to the Powwow Trail. It started in Whitefish Bay, Ontario, with a little girl named Maggie White. There are a few teachings on this. This is the one that I got. So her grandfather had asked for a vision or how he could possibly help Maggie. He offered us tobacco. So we offered tobacco because it's one of our 4 sacred medicines. And if we're going to ask for something, we have to give it. So we're going to offer that tobacco so that we can have a vision or ask for something in return, just to maintain that balance. So he was given a vision of this dress and how to do the dance styles. So when he woke up, the women in his village, they created this dress for Maggie. And if you go to a powwow or you've ever seen that big drum and people are dancing around it, so generally there's 4 push-ups or 4 honor beats when they raise their fans. Excuse me. So the honor beat is how you can kind of break down the song, and the honor beat when we raise our fans, that's us, because we believe the eagle flies highest to the creator. So normally it's an eagle fan. So we take those good thoughts and that medicine and those prayers, when we put them up to the creator. So that's the honor beat. So it said that Maggie needed help the first few push-ups, but by the 4th, she was doing some of the steps on her own. So if you go to a powwow or you see jingle dress dancers, if you offer them sema, you offer them tobacco and ask them to pray for you or anybody who's suffering mentally, physically, or spiritually, then they will do that and put out that good medicine and those good prayers. So when I started dancing jingle, and my belief and how I felt in my core about dancing, and it came together with culture. Sorry, I have a bulldog, and she was sleeping in the living room until I decided to make this video. So sorry you hear it in the background. But anyways, so when those two came together, you know, healing and culture, it really filled a void in my life, and it helped me deal with some of the sexual abuse and sexual assault that completely dilapidated myself and any kind of relationship that I may have had with anybody else. And it's funny how sexual assault can trickle into every part of your life, and how even when you've healed, it's still something that you're constantly dealing with and you're constantly having to reevaluate. I took my daughter to the dentist for her teeth cleaning, and she wore shorts, and there was a male hygienist, and I was on high alert. Like, honestly, I think that had I known the hygienist that day was going to be a male, I probably would have made my child wear pants. And how fair is that to my daughter? So even when it's years later and you've dealt with a lot of it, there's still that residual piece, and it's something that we fight and we battle every day. And I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. And KSAC is there to help you with all of their services. And we need that. We need community and we need healing. And whatever you're going through, you gotta find that resource. You gotta find that thing, like I found dancing, to help you through that. But I think the important thing is that it wasn't your fault. And you're never alone. And there's always somebody out there that you can talk to. I mean, if you're going through anything, my name is Callie Marshall on Facebook. And if anybody, I always have an open ear. I do work a lot, so if I don't respond right away, I'll just apologize for that ahead of time. But there's always somebody out there that will listen. There's always somebody out there that understands. And I just wanted to say how important you all are and how important it is that we stand in solidarity and take back the night, take back our safety, and don't allow anybody to take that away from us. Take up all the space you can. Be loud, be unapologetic, own your body, own your space, and don't let anybody take that away from you. Thank you so much, KSAC. I hope you all enjoy the night.
I just wanted to read to you one of my favorite quotes that has to do with survivors of sexual assault or gender-based violence. It's by Alex L. You're not a victim for sharing your story. You are a survivor setting the world on fire with your truth. And you never know who needs your light, your warmth, and raging courage. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I know that that the last couple of years have proven to be more difficult than most with the ongoing pandemic. We're so excited that tonight we can kind of stand in solidarity together and we can continue to focus on a culture and a world that doesn't accept gender-based violence and that focuses on hope. So thank you all for joining. We've got such exciting things going on here, and you're going to see a lot of fun videos throughout the night. And we're just so thankful for your continued support to the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre and to yourself. And we're here. We are happy to join you in your journey. And we just really, really thank you for giving us the space to offer nights like tonight and to take the lead on things like this. Thank you, and I hope you really enjoyed the show.
Hello, I'm Vicki Heacock, and I'm very thankful to be able to play Take Back the Night again for another year for Kawartha Sexual Assault. just want to encourage everybody out there that that we get through things when we stand together. And so I think this is a reminder to depend on each other. This is called Take Back the Night. Sitting on the front porch, watching life go by. Haunted memories run through my mind. Yet fireflies are flying as they dance through the trees. Mama says it's time now, come in and sleep. And I imagine myself running away, but sandy beaches have turned to clay. Now I'm frozen in time. Can I take back the night? Take back the night. Wooden crossings by the highway. Someone must have died, and I am wondering if that was my life. Yet there's stones on my shoulder, they're catching my flip-flops, and I keep running, but I wanna stop. So I take back the night, where no fear surrounds me, and I take back my rights. That power is broken over me. There are cracks in the sidewalk, and rain is pouring down, washing over me as I spin around. New grass is growing, I can smell it in the air, and freedom is my answered prayer. So I take back the night, where no fear surrounds me, and I take back my rights. That power is broken over me, over
Hello, everyone. It's Alicia Fisher, the Prevention Education Supervisor from the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre, as well as Dina, Zella, and Tuga, the turtle, which are all scooting away. So I'll let the babies get going. Go on, like, go on. Nope, she wants to hang out with us. That's great. So I'm really excited about Take Back the Night 2021. This is probably going to be the last year that you all can hang out with my babies. Right, Zena? I don't think Zena's going to be coming to a Take Back the Night event outdoors. But anyway, welcome everyone to the 2021 virtual Take Back the Night. We are all super excited that you're here with us today. You know, the prevention education team at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre has been working very hard over the years. The turtle has gone as well, to really shift the supports that we are providing to you folks all around our regions. You still hanging out here? Okay, cool. You as we've moved into this virtual social media world, our supports have also moved into the virtual social media world. It has been really incredible connecting with people all throughout our communities, especially some of the students that are international, and just really connecting with people in a much deeper and much more meaningful kind of way. The survivors in our communities and beyond have really shown how resilient they are and have been throughout this pandemic. Now, we already knew this. We already knew that survivors have been resilient, but it's really shown. The tenacity has really shown throughout 2020 and 2021, haven't it? And, I am so honored to be part of this night with all of you. Take Back the Night always has a very special place in my heart, as it was one of the first events I did with the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre, where we were marching in Peterborough, and then following years I was up in Northumberland. Wasn't I, Zena? And I can't wait to get back to that, but I also am just so happy to be here with all of you tonight, enjoying this one last, hopefully last, knock on wood, virtual year of Take Back the Night. So throughout the rest of the night, you're going to be seeing me pop back in, because I want to bring back that chanting spirit, those rally cries as we scream throughout the streets. I'm going to be bringing a Mending alumni to come in and do some cheers that are going to pop up throughout the rest of the show tonight. So thank you everyone so much for inviting us in the Prevention Education team into your virtual homes, into your virtual classrooms. We cannot wait to continue our education work, to continue inspiring resiliency throughout our communities, supporting survivors and supporting the supporters of survivors. We're here for you. So thank you so much. And let's do some reclaiming our space, shall we? Thank you, everyone. Didn't think you were getting rid of me that fast, eh? Hi, I'm Alicia Fisher. I'm the Prevention Education Supervisor at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Center. And here we have a Mending alumni. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Colton Johnstone, and I graduated from the Mending program in early 2020.
All right, so we're here to do some chants. Take Back the Night is meaningless without its chants. So you can choose who you want to mimic. And we're just gonna have some fun with this, kind of like what we did last year. We're just gonna go with it. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready. Here we go. Yes means yes.
No means no.
However we dress.
Wherever we go.
Yes means yes.
No means no.
However we dress.
Wherever we go.
Yes means yes.
No means no.
However we dress.
Wherever we go.
Woo! Okay, ready for another one?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Now you just repeat the last word, all right? What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Woo! All right, we'll see you later on in the program.
My name is Coco Lorraine Vera. I'm a motivational speaker and a life skills coach. My company is called Inspired by Coco, and I also work for the Women's Support Network of York Region. And I'm happy to share my story with all of you tonight. I'm going to start with this song. We say her name, we'll say her name. We say her name, we say her name. We remember as we unite, we'll continue to fight for our freedom, for our rights. Take back the night. My story started at the age of 4. It's a A survival story. See, I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, and that abuse continued for 10 years, and it robbed me of my ability to say no, my ability to protect myself. It robbed me of my self-esteem, and so by the time I became a teenage mother and the hormones hit, I was searching for love in all the wrong places, and I became a teenage mother at the age of 17, lost and afraid, and so filled with shame I thought my life was over, until somebody helped me to take back my night. They asked me to share my story, to tell my truth with my peers. It was a teacher at my school, and she believed in me when I did not believe in myself. I said yes to that opportunity, and I stood on that stage in front of 500 high school students 1 month after I gave birth to my daughter, and my pain and my shame began to transform into power and purpose. When we stand up and tell our truth, and we say without apology what happened to us, we are taking back our night. When we march, when we hold signs, when we refuse to be silenced, we take back the night. The night when we were supposed to feel safe, to be able to walk down the street without fear. And so I join every single survivor in solidarity as we move from survival to thriving, knowing that one march at a time, one moment at a time, we can heal, we can restore our souls, we can recognize the truth, the beauty of who we are. And so I stand with all of you tonight as we take back this night. I stand with every single survivor, knowing that we can grieve with grace, that we can grow and transform our pain into power and every quote-unquote mistake into a masterpiece, to take the ashes and turn them into something beautiful. We say her name, we say her name, and take back the night.
Hi, everyone. My name's Ashley Calder, and I'm one of the clinical counselors at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre. I want to thank you and welcome you all for joining us tonight with Take Back the Night. Here we are hosting this event virtually, and our center does exist on the traditional land of the Mississauga Anishinaabe, covered by the Williams Treaty and Treaty 20 here in Nogajiwanang, Peterborough. I want to thank you for holding space tonight for all survivors of sexual violence, for folks who've experienced gender-based violence across our communities and the communities that our center covers. Thank you for showing courage and hope and breaking the silence against gender-based and sexual violence. It's so important that we're all here this evening to take back the night and reclaim space, whatever that may look like for you. Thanks again for joining us. And I appreciate all the folks who've submitted their creative work, their stories, and for all of you who are watching and listening this evening. We are continuing on this journey towards ending sexual-based and gender-based violence, and it's such important work. Thanks again, and take care.
The chair. The chair's a bit wobbly when I climb on the seat, but that's probably okay. That's what it's supposed to do. It's silly to worry about falling and where to put my feet. I met Maggie in kindergarten, and we stayed an inseparable pair. We made mud pies, rescued drowned kittens, discovered pop dolls, and she was always there. In grade 10, we were both new at high school. Different kids from all over to meet. It was mega important to fit in, to be the most popular, super cool. Mom let me sleep over at Maggie's. Her mom would be late, and we felt like being wild. 2 boys asked us over to their place for ciggies and vodka, and we were beguiled. It started off fun, the cigarette smoke curled, and the vodka sipped easy like water. 4 boys crowded around, laughing and touching, and I felt like the queen of the world. Maggie got a bit jealous, found it hard to bear, said, "I'm leaving right now. You coming or what?" I waved, "See you later," and she was no longer there. Suddenly I had to throw up. Your head whirls and the vodka sours, lurched to the window and hung there, legs totally paralyzed, jello, as I vomited into the flowers. The boys were behind me, tearing my clothes, pushing my head into the glass. One said, "She's totally out of it. Take a picture." Their bodies hammered into my ass. I woke in a strange cold place. 2 boys snoring in the bed. I was dizzy and sore. There was blood on my dress. I crept downstairs like a wreath. In the kitchen, a woman sat smoking. I told her I was in pain, but she wouldn't look at my face, muttered, "Get out, slut, and don't come here again." Outside, I tried to call Maggie, but her mom picked up instead, shouted, "You were out all night. You never slept in your bed." At home, I took a warm bath, put my dress in the wash, closed the lid, tried to pretend nothing happened. I was not really sure what did. Till 2 days later, when pictures were all over the school, I could feel whispering and pointing in the hairs in the back of my neck. Maggie wouldn't come anywhere near me, and my mom noticed I was a wreck. She marched me to tell the police, who said rape was now hard to prove, rolled their eyes suspiciously, and suggested porn distribution was our best legal move. I waited, but nothing happened, except the whole internet wanted to fuck me. I couldn't shut out the noise, and then flyers appeared in our street saying, "Protect the boys." I switched to a new school, but Facebook and Twitter showed no mercy. Now I was the drowning kitten, and there was no one to rescue me. So the rope goes over the branch, and you put your head through the loop, then kick over the chair. I wonder, will Maggie be sad now that I'm no longer there?
Hi, my name's Jocelyn, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what Take Back the Night means to me. Looking back, I remember attending past events and just always being in awe of the strength of the community coming together and the beauty of being able to provide that space for survivors to share their stories. I think that's why this year's theme, Reclaiming Our Space, really resonates with me and hopefully with a lot of others. Now, I'm not always the best when it comes to talking about things, so I wrote a little bit of a poem that I think sums up my feelings about this year's theme the best way that I know how. The space you inhabit is sacred. The space you inhabit is yours and yours alone. Yours to live in, yours to create, yours to keep, yours to build up and let grow, yours to hide in, yours to cry in, yours to laugh in, and yours to choose to share with who you want and when you want to. No one else has the right to your space. Sometimes in our space, we grow flowers, and sometimes in our space, we grow weeds. And that's okay. What matters is that things are always growing, recognizing the messy side of our space. Everything you are in that space is enough. Every emotion you feel in the space is valid. Every part of your space deserves respect. This is for those who feel unsafe walking alone down the street, who feel unsafe walking in twos down the street, who feel unsafe walking in a group down the street, who have to keep their keys between their fingers as they walk, for the jokes that were never really jokes, and the half-hearted laughs, unsure of what to do in the situation, for those who have to take the time to heal something that they never asked to be broken. I leave you with one of my favorite quotes now. Remember, you are enough. You are so enough. It is unbelievable how enough you are. Thank you, everybody, and please enjoy the rest of the presentations tonight.
Good evening. Hello. It's Krista Kaiser, also known as the Vibe Curator. I'm thrilled to be a part of tonight's festivities for Take Back the Night, and specifically with the theme of reclaiming our space. It definitely starts within and speaks to a lot of what I deal with on a daily basis with myself and with my clients. I pulled a card tonight on the theme, and I'm just going to read it for all of you. It's follow your own rhythm. And this is incredibly important to reclaiming our own spaces. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense when it is time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward and take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat and that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it is time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are more gentle, spacious, or nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythm of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, to dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive exchange of energy. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. All that you will miss out on by trusting this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. You must honor your need for rest and replenishment as well as your need for play. Sometimes an afternoon nap or a trip to the beach will do far much for you than slogging away when you are mentally depleted and in need of rest. Sometimes you need to work when the energy is flowing, even though others may say it is too much and you must stop now. You are an empowered individual, and you have the intelligence and wisdom to choose for yourself. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. I hope that resonates for you, and I just want to say how proud I am of each and every single one of you for showing up tonight, for taking back the night and reclaiming your own space, starting with your inner space. Thank you so much to everybody at Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre for what you do. This community is so important and so well needed. Thank you again, and have a beautiful night, everybody.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel safest on rainy days because I have my umbrella with me. And an umbrella seems like a pretty decent weapon in the heat of the moment. On days when it's not raining, I carry my keys in my hand, as they tell you to do. Protect yourself. But as I'm walking down the street imagining the very few ways I could actually use them, I shake my head, though the keys never leave my hand. Sometimes I jingle them all the way home, tossing them up and down, hoping to seem more, I don't know, threatening? I suppose what I mean is less of a target. See these keys, boys? Just try it. It's almost as ridiculous as, don't wear your hair in a ponytail, you're easier to grab. But since I was a young girl, society has told me that it's up to me to protect myself. I've learned that the onus is on me to not allow myself to become an opportunity, because some men just can't seem to help themselves, and how can I expect them to change for the mere benefit of my sense of safety? So don't dress too revealing or lead anyone on in any way. It's your responsibility. Well, I'm not sure what to do, or how to be, or how much to protect myself. So I'm aware of my surroundings at all times when I'm alone. A little time may pass without incident. I start to relax a little. Not enough to not be vigilant, but enough to forget every once in a while that my pussy makes me pray. And then one day, I head out for a walk. I see a group of men on the path before me. Their heads turn, my heart sinks. They will speak to me, there is no question. And boy, do I wish it were raining. I've never wanted to be more invisible as I feel their eyes burning holes in my confidence. It takes all my might not to stop and turn for home. I'm alone, so I'm already doing one thing wrong. But it's daylight, and I have my keys. First a whistle, then a, "Hey sexy, how are you?" I do not answer, but I know if I do nothing they will persist, so I force a little smile, though I feel my eyes saying "fuck you" as I turn them to the ground. Damn, look at that ass. I want to stand up for myself, but I know better than to be defiant. I dare not make them feel the need to exert any power over me. I do not want to meet their aggression. I remain silent and neutral, but I know the fear must be showing through because I hear, "Relax. It's just a compliment." When I'm finally on the other side and time starts to move again, I release the breath I was holding, head down, shoulders hunched, trying not to let my hips sway or wiggle as I walk away, trying so hard not to be myself in case it entices or offends, in case it seems like I'm asking for it by existing as a female. The rest of my journey, I spend looking over my shoulder. I take a different route home. I pass graffiti that reads "cunt" in bold letters, reminding me I have one, as if I could forget, as if I'm ever allowed to forget, without taking the blame for how some men decide to treat me.
Hello, my name is Georgia Fullerton. I'm a practicing visual artist, an expressive arts therapist, and public speaker. I am very honored to be here today representing Take Back the Night for women of color and women of every culture from around the world. My story is not a history, and it's not a her story, but it is an art story. And in saying that, I can tell you that if someone had come to me 10 years ago and said, you would be in an abusive situation that would change your life, that would lead you onto a trajectory that would make a difference to not only my life, but the lives of hundreds of other women who had experienced what I experienced. My story is one of creativity, courage, clarity, and connection. I suffered abuse at the hands of someone who did not value who I was. And even at the time, I didn't value who I was. I'm coming from parents who took a big risk in their life, which was to leave their birthland of Jamaica and move to a new country, Canada, in a small town where we were one of 2 Black families. But within that rarity, I found solutions, I found privilege, I found opportunity. And it was their task and their role to raise their young family and give us the opportunity to develop ourselves, to move forward, to use our skills and abilities to educate ourselves and to contribute to society in ways that would empower us. And I was empowered, and I continue to be empowered. My art story is one that needs to be told. And with Take Back the Night, it is a perfect opportunity for me to express to you how expression is a superpower. As an artist, I use the arts to tell my story. I use the arts to remember and reflect on the pain that I suffered, but also to really look at how we can develop and gain power from that pain. I found in my life always ways to be happy, to be joyful, to use my art to touch people and help develop their sense of self, help them to design and create a life of their own choice. Today I stand before you as someone who has taken my strength, which is the arts. I began to use my paintbrush as my healing stick. And I found ways to not only help myself heal from my trauma, but also to share that with others and have them heal and create a new view of who they are as women. The support that I offer women who have been brutalized and who have suffered at the hands of others is in a therapeutic way. I choose the relationship that we have with art and with ourselves to tell the story of how we can use our pain to create power. My power came in the form of paint. And I can say that I'm extremely excited to bring my story to the world. Yes, I was abused. And yes, I used my girl power to develop myself and to strengthen myself. And I want to share with you 2 things. The first, Take Back the Night, York region. I was honored to be able to speak and paint in honor of the women who've been abused over the years. This is just a sampling of the work that I created live for the Take Back the Night York region event. You can see the female symbol and the use of language and how important it is for us to use our voices and speak out. My experience as an artist brought me to question my relationship with the arts and to question how I could use that to empower myself and to empower other women. 5 years after my abusive situation, I was able to speak about my experience in a way that would resonate with many. And once again, all of my experiences are told through the use of art. This was the painting that I created 5 years after my abusive situation. I found that it was time for me to share it with the world. Yes, it's a self-portrait. And I'm here to tell you that there is hope. We suffer trauma, and trauma is always within reach. It resides within us, but there are ways that we can express that and get it out to the world. Within reach is the title of this piece. I'm looking outwards towards my future and how I would change it. And if you look closely below, there's another portrait. A day after my abuse, I took a photograph of my bruised face. And I used it in this dual portrait to show that skeletons can still reside within us. But if we continue to strive and speak freely about what we've been through and protest against those who abuse and persecute women just for the simple fact that we are women, that's what this painting represents. I want to thank Take Back the Night and all the women who have suffered at the hands of others and who've made still a life for themselves, rich in discovery, rich in reflection, rich in holding the hands of others and being empowered, and to bring about an understanding, to bring about compassion, love, kindness, and a way to move forward. So this evening I want to say thank you. I would love everyone to share their art story and share all of those experiences that bring them boldness and courage. Because the courage to create is what has kept me here and what will have me continue to share my story with all of you. Take back the night. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Robin Ocean and Nico from Consent at Trent. Just want to say I wish we could be there in person to be loud and take up space, but I'm glad that we found this virtual space to do so. So thanks to the organizers for making this event possible, and thanks to all of you for thinking about safety, for building stronger communities, for taking care of yourselves and each other, and I hope that we can have a safer world with all of your help. So take care, take back the night, and be well.
Hello, you're here with the cheerleaders of Take Back the Night. What an incredible night it has been. Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, are you ready for more chants? Because we're going to make more chants happen. Now, for this one, it's a repeat after me or repeat after he, whatever you feel like doing. Just join in. We'll be doing it 3 times. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho.
Sexual violence has got to go. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho.
Sexual violence has got to go. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho.
Sexual violence has got to go. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho.
Sexual violence has got to go. Woo! We need some signs. We need some signs here. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Here we go. End it. End it.
End the silence.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop the violence.
End it. End it.
End the silence.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop the violence.
End it. End it.
End the silence.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop the violence.
Woo! Yeah.
Rape culture and precarious employment have lunch at a steakhouse and discuss my dismissal, or another employer tells me I need to learn to just say no. How can I have too much on my plate when I worked through my lunch break, when I skipped dinner on the way to my second, third, fourth job? If you paid me a livable wage, I could do the surviving part of being a survivor, the part where I feed myself and pay rent. Maybe then I could buy a lifetime supply of bath bombs to meet the workplace standards for self-care and use the rest to flood my abuser's apartment in glittering red. I have said no to work before and ended up saying yes to keep myself alive. I have said no to sex before and ended up saying yes to keep myself alive. I say no to the party because some abusers like to dance and miss my favorite song. I say no to the protest because some abusers safety marshal the movement and miss out on being a panelist. I say no to the poetry slam because some abusers slam master the venue or make final stage or come to every show and miss out on making the team or the title or the tour. I say no to the subway because some abusers don't drive and I'm late for my shift again. I say no and still get stuck with the bill for spike key rings, litmus nail polish, bad date escape taxis, 3 years of therapy. I confronted each of my abusers and the only thing they offered were their condolences. Rape crisis counseling is not covered under workplace insurance unless it happened at work. Almost like classism TM and rape culture TM are part of the same conglomerate getting tax breaks from the government. I make 75 cents to my abuser's dollar and can't afford to take them to court. Capitalism profiting off of rape culture, profiting off of my calloused flesh. Sexual violence, history's most lucrative business. Patriarchy, the ultimate pyramid scheme. I want to crush its every ancient brick, but it employs me to support survivors, to educate on consent, to research trauma, to host a writing workshop on survival at an all-femme poetry slam. How can I say no when quitting my job means closing the crisis line? How can I say no when rape culture doesn't take a day off? So I will plan my attack at night. I call upon all the good men in their best suits and Time's Up pins to meet me at the chain-linked fence wrapped around a world without rape. Bring your platinum credit cards, a pair of pliers, and sharp teeth with consent education and justice. And if all else fails, a bulldozer and a blowtorch. Fire me and watch all I built for you burn. But when you beg for me back, I'll say, no.
Hi there. My name is Steph, and I am a survivor of rape. Well, at least I thought I was. But is it really survival when you still fear people? When you spiral because a man that you just met assaults you in your own bedroom? But nevertheless, I am alive. After multiple thoughts and attempts at suicide, I am alive. I have a poem I'd like to share. I was 18 when he came over to my house. I was still 18 when he forced me up my stairs and into my bedroom. I was 18 as I consented. I felt like but a child when my power to consent was taken away, when he took it away. But I was drunk, his lawyer could say. I invited him over, so I was asking for it. But was I asking for it when I begged him to stay downstairs? When I tugged at his hand and said no? I promise I'm not lazy or a quitter. I am just tired. The stress is eating me, beating me. I say I am a sex addict to hide my pain of how it feels to think of him, so I think of other men. He was 28 when he came to my house. He was 28 when he forced me upstairs. He was 28 when he got me consent. And he still got to be 28 when he ruined me. Thank you. I wrote this back a few weeks after I was raped, just last year. A year ago, as of, I believe, August 31st. It has been a year and I'm still fighting. So for all of you out there, don't give up. There is hope, there is light, and you will find closure, just as I am still searching for mine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shannon Roselle. I'm a singer-songwriter out of Fenland Falls, Ontario. I'm really thrilled to be back with you this Take Back the Night. I've been doing this since, I think, 2013, and it's always such a pleasure to play for this event. The song I'm going to be doing for you tonight is actually a new song. This is my first public performance of it. It's called Lullaby, and I don't think it really needs any explanation. I hope you find comfort in it.
Tick-tock, what I said, what I said, what I said. Tick-tock, what I said, what I said, what I said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Just who do you cry out to when you don't believe in God? Who's fighting in your corner when that fire in you is gone? Keep waiting these long days out. Get up, get clean, get dressed now. Don't think, don't feel, don't worry, but I just don't know how. Tick tock, what you said, what you said, what you said. Tick tock, what you said, what you said, what you said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Our stars all we have left, doing joy that destroy. Some were long past dead before we looked up to the sky. You're dry inside the cabin, I'm soaked right to the bone. The lake is lined with floating fish, they're never going home. Tick tock, what you said, what you said, what you said. Tick tock, what you said, what you said, what you said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Tick tock, what I said, what you said, what I said. Tick tock, what you said, what you said, what you said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. Drip drop, what I said, what I said, what I said. I hope everyone's keeping safe and well despite COVID, where everything's like a pressure cooker. We're all under so much pressure. I'm thinking of you.
And we're back to continue on with some more chants. Like, that's what Take Back the Night is all about. Love walking through the streets, letting everyone know that we are reclaiming the night tonight, and hopefully you're letting your neighbors know as well that we're reclaiming the night here with Take Back the Night. Are you ready for some more chants? Perfect. Okay, this one, we're just going to keep on going with it and just join in. I'll signal you when we're going to finish. Let's do like a wrap it on up. Okay, ready?
Ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Feminists unite, reclaim the night. 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 Woo! Man, I think back to like my Take Back the Night days, and I need that megaphone. I was like so good. Okay, you ready for another one?
Sure.
Are you ready for another one? Perfect. I just like Dora the Explorer, like repeat after me. Okay, here we go. Again, we're just gonna like keep on chanting. You can join in with us. Ready?
Yep.
Ready, and 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate. I love that like tone in that one. No more violence, no more hate. That's a good one. All right, see you back. One more.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us tonight. My name is Tracy Winiski, and I'm a clinical counselor here at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre. As many of you know, Take Back the Night has been an integral annual event across North America since the early 1970s, when survivors of sexual assault and gender-based violence decided to raise their collective voices and took to the streets in unity to take back the night, and also to speak out against the ongoing sexual violence in our society, particularly against women. Ideally, we should be able to walk safely both in the day and at night. I dream of this day all the time. However, as we know, this is sadly not the case for many. And we can't do so right now without fear or being armed with pepper spray, keychains, mace, or ensuring we walk with our dog, family, or friends by our side. Take Back the Night is also important to me personally and as a counselor supporting survivors on their healing journey. It's a time set aside to remember and honor survivors, their stories, the pain and what they've been through, but also their resilience and their courage. When I sit with clients and they bravely share their stories with me, I feel so humbled, and I'm often in awe at their strength to do so. We want to say to survivors everywhere, you are not alone. We believe you. We will walk with and fight for you now and always. Take Back the Night is also a time to collectively speak up, to make some noise, and be heard shouting the following words loudly and clearly to all those who are part of perpetuating sexual and gender-based violence. Enough already. And in our current societal landscape, standing with and for survivors has never been more important. History has shown us that if you want to be heard, you have to make some noise. If we could meet in person, I'm sure we'd be making a lot of noise in downtown Peterborough as we marched on the streets to take back the night. I can't wait until we get to do that again. So please help us make some virtual noise here tonight and stand with us as we stand for survivors now and always. Help us take back the night, tonight and in the future. We love and appreciate all of you. Thanks for your support. And remember, you are not alone. Thanks so much.
Hi everybody, my name is Electrosla from Wallow, Ontario, and I work with Young Men Leading Change as a youth facilitator. This is a program that's funded by the government of Canada to help end gender-based violence and also raise awareness in our communities. This program was basically created for racialized men that are between 15 to 25 years of age, and it runs about 6 weeks every year in the fall, and we meet once a week. So in this program, we train young men to become male allies so they could stand against violence against women everywhere they go. It could be on a bus, on an airport, on a street. It doesn't matter. So in this program, we don't only talk about things like this, but we only do some fun stuff. We always give them the privilege to choose what they want to do in the sports section, because some be like, no, I want to do basketball, no, I want to do soccer. So we always see the percentage, like the number of people who want to do this, and then we'll be like, I think like let's do this today, and then tomorrow we're gonna do that. But they always come up with the ideas of what they want to do and what they want to eat, because we always offer them meals every single time we meet every week, and they get to pick what they want to eat as long as it meets our budget. So in this program, because these are men from different countries, which means they're coming with different traditions and ideas about how men are supposed to behave in a community. So we get to know them and learn from like their traditions, and then teach them about the Canadian tradition, or like how everybody else feels, or like understand how it feels like, or what it means to be a man. So in this program, we talk about consent as a key to live a simple life. That's how I take it, because like you cannot be in life without asking for like somebody's something. You're always gonna need help. You're gonna run over, your phone is gonna die, you're gonna have to use somebody's phone, you're gonna have to ask to use it, even if it's in a relationship. And sometimes these are things that people don't feel comfortable talking about in a relationship. It's like when you're having sex and you want to bring up something new, you're not gonna just try it to somebody without like asking them, do you feel comfortable doing this? Is it okay? That's like, communication is the key in most cases, in like almost everything. If you don't communicate with someone, everything is done. So we break down everything. We break down the word, because yes, you're gonna ask me and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's fine, but how am I reacting? Like, how am I answering your question? How am I saying yes? Am I enthusiastic? Am I sad? Like, am I angry? Like, what kind of feeling or vibe am I giving off when I'm giving you the answer that you want? Because sometimes I'm gonna be like, I have no choice, I have to do this, I have to say this, because that's the only thing that I have. That's the only choice that I have. I can't even say no, you know what I'm saying? So you always have to see the circumstances in like volumes, how people react when you ask them to do something, because still you're gonna have to take pictures, and when you take pictures, you're gonna ask people who are in the pictures whether they're comfortable being in those pictures. If you're going to post them, you're gonna still ask them if they're okay to post the pictures, which I feel like everybody's doing right now. They're asking people if they're okay when you take the pictures. So that's the same sense you have to apply when you're doing something else. And that's like one of the things that we normally talk about, because we tell them to give us stories, or like maybe an event that happened to them, and they always share, because they see these things back home. Their parents, like fathers, doing something with their like moms or like something like that. So and they always want to be the better version. So it's always cool learning from these people and understanding where they're coming from and what it means to be a man, because I get it differently and they always get it differently. So we always try to make sure that they are always on the same standards, on the same level. And yeah, we talk about so many things that I can't even talk about in this video, but if you want to get more information about it, you're gonna have to go to our social media platforms on Instagram, where our account page is Young Men Leading Change. Just type in the word, you're gonna find it. The word is in short form, so you can always like see it, and you can go on our website check out more information. Our website is www.maleallies.org, and stay safe, guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucas Schaefer. I'm the Mending Program Coordinator at the Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre. It's Take Back the Night. Thank you so much for watching. With all of these different clips of different people sharing their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, memories about Take Back the Night, I'm recalling the last Take Back the Night live stream where I shared specific memories about my first time at Take Back the Night, making signs alongside Robin Ocean, meeting Alicia Fisher, the Prevention Education Supervisor at Kawartha Sexual Assault Center, and getting to lead chants at Coburg. That was so wicked. And I'm always reminded about those amazing times every time I'm asked to think about Take Back the Night. And this year, I have another thing to add, and that's something that I've been kind of like mulling over and really putting into words as of recent. So I always know when I work in prevention education, you know, this work is really, really important. And that's because you're getting to the root of gender-based and sexual violence. You're not just addressing the aftermath of it or dealing with like the folks that need to be held accountable in the aftermath of it, but you're getting to its root. So you're making it not normal or not okay to do and teaching folks to do better. So recently, some folks have been telling me that like my role at the center, specifically with the Mending program and having a male ally leadership program, is inspiring. And the specific sentiment it inspires is hope. And I think as of recent, in this, you know, climate that we're in, hope is a really tough and vulnerable thing to cultivate in yourself, because shattered hope is a terrible, terrible feeling. So that puts a lot of responsibility on me and prevention education coordinators and prevention education people to hold this hope and use it well. It's a very powerful feeling, right? Literally cultivating the possibility of a future without gender-based or sexual violence, or at least where it's not tolerated, right? So that's what I've been really thinking about as of recent, and as of recent also has been keeping me going, right? If I want to be an excellent male leader, I have to understand my role in ending gender-based violence, and keeping this program going and getting more guys involved is exactly how I'm going to do it. So here's to reclaiming a future without gender-based and sexual violence. Here's to reclaiming the night. Take back the night. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this live stream. Take care.
What a beautiful night this has really become. We're here with one more round of chants. So this is the last one. So we really need to hear your voices. Your neighbors need to hear your voices. We need to hear it at the center and all around the regions that we serve. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready? Yay! Okay, cool. This one, we're just gonna kind of chant back and forth and just pick a side and join on in. Okay, let's make this happen. Claim our bodies.
Claim our right.
Take a stand.
Take back the night.
Claim our bodies.
Claim our right.
Take a stand. Take back the night. Claim our bodies.
Claim our right.
Take a stand.
Take back the night.
Claim our bodies.
Claim our right.
Take a stand.
Take
back the night. Woo! We got there, right? Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but I'm sure each and every one of you is perfect at your home or outside, wherever you're watching this. All right, This one, we're just gonna do it together and have some fun. This one's always a good one. Can we count? Can you count?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take it anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take it anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not taking it anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8. No more violence, no more hate. Yo, take back the night, everyone.
The next song that I'm going to play is called The Strongest People Have Tender Hearts. And it's about the way that we raise boys in our society to devalue their emotional selves and how that contributes to gender-based violence in the world today. Everyone's talking about finding happiness, and everyone's talking about how they don't have enough of it. But we're searching in change room stalls, the fast fashion stores and malls, just to pay the wage of a billionaire somewhere. But I never seem to find it there. And graciousness is where to start when the happiest people have tender hearts. And everyone's telling young boys how to find happiness, telling them, talking about how they feel is weakness, until they're impressing each other with stories of drug girls they took home from parties, convinced that the intimacy we all need makes them weak. Well, there must be better values to teach. And graciousness is where to start when the strongest men I know have tender hearts. Graciousness is where to start when the strongest people have tender
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm not sure if you remember me, but that's okay, because I don't remember you either. At least not your name or your face or anything useful. In fact, I definitely can't pick you out of a lineup, so you can relax. I have no memory of your face, and it has haunted me, turned you into a ghost, made me doubt whether that terrifying memory happened at all, but it did, and I hope I have haunted you too. Perhaps you do not think of me at all, or perhaps that night has eaten you up inside and you have repented. I hope you have repented. And I hope what you give back to this world is far greater than what you took from me, which for a long time was everything. If you haven't, if your soul is not heavy with regret, if my face and my tears and my pleas have not haunted you, I will not seek revenge. I refuse to give you another second of the peace I have created for myself. I'm wise enough now to know that you will lose something important in the balance, and part of me wants to be around to see when that bed you made becomes much less comfortable to lay in. What you took from me was so great that I know you'll pay for it, and that won't be my doing, but your own. Don't get me wrong, I'm no saint, and there were times when I wanted to hunt you down and destroy you, to keep you from robbing any other women of their power. But it takes too much energy to keep chasing a ghost through my memories, energy I am not willing to give. When I say you took everything from me, I should be fair. You did give something back in return. You gave me more shame and fear than I have ever experienced. Shame I have been holding on to. Shame that I have realized I do not need to keep. I wish I could give it back to you. Slip it in your coat pocket like the cab fare that you borrowed from a friend who refuses to let you pay them back. Put it in an envelope and mail it out with a message that says, I see you. I know you are a monster. Instead, I found the strength to speak my truth. Quietly at first, then louder and louder, until I climbed on stage, ascended the stairs to a place where the crowd held me. And when the words came from my mouth and floated around the room, they evaporated, leaving me feeling nothing but love and gratitude. I still imagine you walking around in your camouflage uniform, thinking you blend in with all other men. But no matter what you do, I know, and you know, that you're cruel. I don't think I was the first. It seemed far too easy for you to ignore my free will, to laugh when I invoked it as if it were never mine to begin with. I won't lie. I want you in a cage. But if my only justice is to live a full and happy life despite you, I will become so much myself, so full of joy, that if our paths do cross one day, there's no doubt in my mind you wouldn't recognize the woman I've become.
Hello, my name is Nicole and I'm our Crisis Service Coordinator with KSAC. And today I'll be sharing with you a poem called My Space. The covers cradled my consciousness, offering sweet dissociation. The bed hugging my body, leaning into kind escapism. Tonight's event is not only about coming together to share space, but as well as recognizing what spaces feel safe to us. This poem is to showcase a space that I personally feel safe in, and that we need to claim our space. And tonight, I hope everyone coming together, we're adding to more safe space for others. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event tonight.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Rain. I'm a local artist and a member of this community. I create with intentions to offer intuitively crafted art as a way of healing, caring for, and offering bold, vibrant, and uplifting energy to my fellow human beings. I believe that everyone inherently has and holds creative energy within themselves, meaning that when we do art, we are an artist. If you haven't been able to see yourself as an artist since you were a child, that's okay. You have full power and permission to embody whatever it means to be an artist to you right now. We use our creative energy all the time, even if you don't realize it, for things like problem solving, even just cooking dinner or watching TV, or organizing your home, redecorating, or even cleaning. Engaging with our creativity opens us to our potential as both a creator and a destroyer. It is inherently human to create and destroy. In order to create a clean room, you must destroy the mess. Same goes for being an artist. In order to create, we must destroy the blankness of the surface. With each brushstroke, it inherently becomes something different than what existed a moment before. This process and state of being as both a creator and destroyer is super magical, very empowering, and holds great potential for healing. But I can also understand how it may feel daunting or intimidating as well. Perhaps this is why many people and artists feel blocked when first approaching the blank canvas. But the potential for healing and coming to know oneself in a new and powerful way can be found in the uncomfortability. A few years ago, I was a part of an art healing group for survivors hosted by KSAC, and it has been one of the most valuable experiences of my life and for my healing journey. I learned a lot about myself as a person and as an artist. I still hold deep love for those great friendships and connections we created in our creative togetherness. So I hope that in sharing this little art practice with you today, we can express, release, explore, and step into our vibrant place as creator and destroyer, as artists together. My intention is to offer you an approach to art making that'll help you meet your unique ways of creating and meet the way your hands choose to move through the creative process. It's meant to be a mindful approach to center you on the moment of creating in a non-judgmental way. Let's allow ourselves to be open to unapologetic exploration of whatever moves you in this moment. So I'm just using markers on paper. Any sort of water-soluble marker would do, like I'm using Crayola pipsqueaks and a couple of Staedtler double-tipped markers. I'm using a mixed media paper, but you can use whatever kind of paper is accessible to you. I started with doing circles around circles. It felt comforting at first to have a bit more control over my mark making, but as you could see, that quickly changed. I just started scribbling and doodling more expressively in ways that kind of felt good with my hands and the colors and the movement across the page. Use whatever colors are calling to you in that moment, or if you enjoy a bit more structure, you're welcome to choose a color scheme, a few colors that you enjoy before you get started. Follow what feels good to you. This creative moment is truly about centering in the moment and how you feel and how you move through this experience. So if you start with doing circles upon circles in the beginning and you really enjoy that, continue to do that until you don't. Or if you're really enjoying trying everything, then do that. Don't limit yourself. This is not a space for you to be limited. You are infinite. If this is your first time coloring in a long time, embrace the marks that you're making because they'll never be the same again. You'll learn so much about what feels good or what is needed for you in that moment of creating that the next time you approach the paper, it'll be completely different. And that's awesome. That's human. Creation and destruction. And that's growth. It's empowering to do what feels good in that moment because you're tangibly creating space for what is. Going through the artistic process is a journey. Just like life, if you choose to notice, art will teach you how to navigate life. Every art attempt reminds us that we hold the potential to shift, flow, and move through change, the cycles of creating and destroying. It can remind us that despite any challenges, frustrations, emotions, and mistakes or happy accidents, we are able and capable of moving through that. And in the end, you did it. You showed up. That's half the battle. And you made something. That in and of itself is enough and so beautiful. So what moves you right now? Simple inspiration can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to be impressive or pretty. It could be your morning cup of tea, your pet, someone you love, a book, a show, music, your walk or bike or drive to work even. What's moving you could be your feelings and emotions. And by the way, there are no bad emotions. Living beings are adaptable and boundless. Creativity is inherently within all of us. We all have the ability to create, and we can do it for ourselves. Healing with art came to me through being curious and mindful about what kinds of creations my hands manifest in the moment. Letting go and saying hello. As you create, you also destroy what existed before, and that's okay, because that's how the journey goes. The last step in this process asks you to fully let go. I'm using a spray bottle. You're welcome to use a paintbrush if you wanted, and I am just spraying water across the paper. The end results of what this will look like is completely not up to me. The water is in control. The water is doing the work. Just trust the process, my friends. Everything will turn out to be okay. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope this art process has brought a little bit of healing to ya. Gratitude.
I'm still trying to find my way. I get more lost with every turn. Face my past, all my mistakes. Light 'em up and watch 'em burn. I just wanna feel like it'll be okay. Does anyone else ever feel that way? So take the words of this song and sing along like yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Sun in my eyes, stage light so bright, but it's just so damn dark to me. Nothing's clear and I don't feel any closer to where I need to be. I keep knocking on love's door, wishing it would let me in. I don't wanna give up, but I'm kinda scared to fall again. I'm still trying to find my way. I get more lost with every turn. Face my past, all my mistakes. Light 'em up and watch 'em burn. I just wanna feel like it'll be okay. Does anyone else ever feel that way? So take the words of the song and sing along like yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, everyone. We have made it, unfortunately, to the end of Take Back the Night 2021. What an incredible evening this really, truly has been. Thank you so much to our community members, our survivors, our performers, our agencies that are supporting survivors all across our region. Thank you so much. And I'll give a special shout out to Kelly Marshall, Victoria Heacock, Shannon Roselle, Krista at the Vibe Curator, and the incomparable Missy Knott. An extra special shout out to Robin Ocean at Consent at Trent, Georgia Fullerton, the Young Men Leading Change guys across Ontario, Coco Lorraine and Tina Argel, and that incredible poem. This is truly our night. This is our space, and we are reclaiming our space right here. You know, I was watching the 2020 Take Back the Night, and I didn't think that this could get any better, but it really and truly has. And that's all because of you and the incredible resiliency and strength of the survivors and the supporters of survivors that are right here in this community. I think it's been abundantly clear throughout tonight that you know that you are not alone. There are people here that will support you and will believe you, because you deserve to be believed, you deserve to heal, and you deserve love, compassion, and everything that your heart desires. You deserve that. We deserve that as a community. So thank you everyone so much for joining and coming back year after year to Take Back the Night. It truly is a grassroots run, organized event. And I am so excited, fingers crossed, knock on wood, because I said this last year, that we will be back in person next year. And you know, those streets are going to be extra loud. We all have been resting our voices. We all have had some time for a lot of reflection and a lot of vocal rest. So I cannot wait. The Kawartha Sexual Assault Centre and the rest of the community and every single one of you, we cannot wait for Take Back the Night next year. You know, the activism, the support for survivors does not have to end here tonight. Know about your local community resources. Know about what are some key things that you can say to someone when they disclose that they've experienced some sort of sexual violence or harm, or even domestic violence, with us being in isolation and lockdown. Learn about those community resources. Learn about community events. You know, we've got 16 days of activism coming up, International Women's Day. You know, there's so much opportunity to be involved. And this is all thanks to each and every one of you that has been here tonight, in heart, in virtual reactions. I see it all coming up. So thank you everyone so much. And this concludes Take Back the Night 2021. We will see you next year.
Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sun in my eyes, stage light so bright, but it's just so damn dark to me. Nothing's clear and I don't feel any closer to where I need to be. I keep knocking on love's door, wishing it would let me in. I don't want to give up, but I'm kind of scared to fall again. I'm still trying.